The kids are still at practice, and I have no idea what's for dinner.
You can get a rotisserie chicken and 2 sides for just $15 in as fast as an hour with Walmart Express Delivery.
Who said that? Who's in my house? Don't play with me, because I'm not the one.
It's just your friendly Walmart announcer. This is a commercial.
Oh, okay. You were saying dinner for a family was just $15?
Yep, it'll be at your door by the time you get the kids home from practice. Order now. Welcome to your Walmart. Subject to availability, restrictions and fees apply.
Now that was a helpful commercial.
Halliday presents, in the red corner, the undisputed, undefeated Weed Whacker Guy. Champion of hurling grass and pollen everywhere. And in the blue corner, the challenger, extra strength Halliday. Eye drops that work all day to prevent the release of histamines that cause itchy allergy eyes. And the winner by knockout is Halliday. Halliday, bring it on.
The last thing you want to hear when you need your auto insurance most is a robot with countless irrelevant menu options. Which is why with USAA Auto Insurance, you'll get great service that is easy and reliable, all at the touch of a button. Get a quote today. Restrictions apply.
USAA. There are people out there all across the country pushing boundaries to grow the game of golf. Like champion speed golfer Lauren Cupp, who plays faster than anyone else. And Will Lowry, whose work in the golf community inspires more kids to get into the game. As a champion partner of the Masters, Bank of America supports everyone determined to find out what's possible. In golf and in life. What would you like the power to do? Bank of America. Bank of America N.A. member FDIC, copyright 2025, Bank of America Corporation, all rights reserved.
We interrupt this program to bring you an important announcement.
I'm here with Tim Melia. Well, we're over Zoom, so I can't say I'm here. I'm not over there drinking nice beverages with him like Patrick is. However, you have big news that you're announcing this week, Tim. Do you want to tell us about it?
Just officially announcing retirement. Probably waited too long, but I guess just normal life delays kind of got in the way. Probably should have announced it right at the end of the year, but I think it's a good time to announce it now that soccer is officially over from the playing, and kind of just looking forward to what's going to be the next part of life.
Was the delay maybe just a little bit of just not quite wanting to let it go yet?
No, I mean, my wife and I made up our mind for our family probably December 15th. So there wasn't any thought going into the new year if I was going to continue playing or not. We kind of made the decision right before or right after free agency opened up, and then from there wasn't looking back.
Was there some teams trying to convince you to go there regardless?
Yeah, we had a few different offers, couple different cities, couple different clubs, but ultimately we just kind of sat back and decided that the best thing for our family was to not uproot the kids. You know, we love Kansas City. We feel very fortunate and lucky to have landed here. And whatever move we made next was only going to be a short-term move. We wanted to come back here. My wife is employed here. We love the school the kids go to. We love their community of friends. So we didn't feel right about kind of pulling them out of that only to bring them back. So ultimately we decided that it was time and it would be nice to also retire at Sporting.
Are you like a lifetime Kansas Cityan now? Are you going to stick around forever?
I guess. I mean, right now that's the plan. There's no moves in the foreseeable future, but you never say never, right? You never know where you're going to go, where you could be. I would have never said I would end up in Kansas City. So, and here I am with 3 kids later.
Yeah, I'm kind of in that same boat. I never dreamed I would be living here for the rest of my life at one point either. So, but it's a good place. So, do you have any plans for the future at this point?
The past few months has just kind of been doing all those things that I haven't been able to do with the kids. You know, I'm not traveling anymore, so it's been great to be at all the activities, all the sporting events. I started coaching my son's soccer team. So it's just been great to be as active as I can right now. We've invested in real estate throughout our career, and I've kind of thrown myself more into that, taking a more active role in all of that. And then at some point I will circle back into the soccer world, maybe just not right now, but so right now we're just kind of piecing everything together, figuring out what's going to be the next move, but in no rush and enjoying the time I'm getting with the family.
Well, if you want to get into writing or podcasting, I know a site that can pay you absolutely nothing So
I'm in.
we'll be happy to have you in at any point, man.
I appreciate that.
Or if there's just anything you want to comment on, because now you don't have to worry about what Patrick will tell you to do.
I know. Now I don't have Pat sitting over my shoulder. For some reason, I still do right now.
I know. It's I think it's more because I have to.
Well, you can talk to me whenever you want, and I've always appreciated all of what you guys have done for me. By the way, I didn't get an opportunity to say thank you that night, but you guys have always spun me in an awesome light, and I've always appreciated how good you guys have all been to me.
You've always been an awesome player, man, and I want to say thank you because every time we walked over there, I could always see like I don't really want to talk, but I am going to. You are always willing to talk to us, even when you didn't really want to.
That's not true. I always wanted to. It's
All
only
right,
Pat
so
that I don't want to talk to.
oh man, I can see it on people's faces, and I don't blame them one bit, man. So I wouldn't want to talk to me either. Um, so I gotta ask some of those. I gotta ask some of these like straight up questions, right? So I have to ask this. Are you willing to give up your PK secrets now?
There, there are no PK secrets. It's a combination of a lot of studying, instinct, all those things I've repeated to you a lot of times. There's no secrets. It's like anything else. Practice something enough and kind of hone in on those different skill sets, and hopefully you land on the side of success.
Well, somehow you combined all that to be absolutely the best. So that's pretty impressive that nobody else has been close to that good. Well, maybe one or two have been close to that good, but you have been just absolutely the best. I know you're going to get a lot of these questions. What's your favorite memory or something like that stuff? But what was maybe like the toughest time that you've had it, since
Oh,
you,
that's a good question. I mean, it's been no secret. The last 3 years have been really hard. 19 was a difficult year, but it didn't feel like it was going to last. So I think it was because it was the first time going through everything, not having a successful year, not making the playoffs. But it never felt like it was going to be a long-term thing. The last 3 years have been incredibly challenging on a lot of different levels. When individually you're not playing the way you want, the team's not performing the way you want. There's changes. There's the lore of media. There's a lot of different things going on. For me personally, I'm getting older. I'm as aware of people saying like they need to move on and transition. We're also aware of those things as well. Um, but I think that it was also an opportunity for me to kind of like grow and mature as a person, and I hope that even when times weren't going super great at sporting, I was always able to try to kind of keep everybody in a positive mindset and just do everything I can to try to get us on to the next game. But I would say that's probably the past few years were the biggest challenges, but it was part of my story. It's part of my journey. I don't look to change it. I'm not the type of person to go, I wish that didn't happen, because I think you can grow and learn and gain really positive things throughout those experiences. Would I love a couple more trophies? Yeah, but for whatever reason, it wasn't in the cards, and it doesn't leave a sour taste in my mouth at all for my experience at the club.
yeah, you don't seem like a guy who's going to have big regrets. You kind of like look at it as it is, right?
Yeah, I mean, there's always games you wish you did something differently to win, but I also like I look at where I started in my career to kind of where I finished. I don't. I think I'd be. I, I would be a poor sport to myself if I complained about not making the playoffs for a year versus the fact that I started as a third string in the lowest division in the U.S. and I kind of fought my way all the way up. So I understand that you're going to have highs, you're going to have lows, and if I zoom out and look at my whole career, I'm happy with how it ended, and I'm glad I got to be a part of all those journeys, be on those good teams, be on all different types of clubs, and essentially, finish at Sporting, which I think truly is a special club.
That's I mean, you really do have that amazing story. Like you said, started a third string in a low division. Was it Rochester? Was it Rochester?
Yep, Rochester, and it was USL or USL One. I don't remember what it was called at the time because it would change every year.
Yeah, they've changed a few times, but they've always been a pretty good club. But yeah, just to start there and then work your way
They're
through.
gone
And
now.
oh
I don't even
man,
think I don't even think they're in a league anymore. Yeah.
oh, I was thinking they were still in one low league, but maybe not. Because I knew one of the owners there for a while. Soccer Sam.
Soccer Sam. So he was the hype guy when I was there. He had
Yeah,
a pizza. pizza place, and that was the only time we would get food. Is he would bring food from his the pizza places that he owned.
Was it good?
It was good. It was like deep. It was almost like I want to say Depot pizza, but it was almost like a Sicilian pizza, but it was a square, but it was like a thin crust setup. It was pretty good. It was different. It was different style pizza considering you were in New York and it wasn't traditional New York pizza, but it was really popular. And the guy was Soccer Sam was someone that I would you'd see on like a used car salesman commercial, and he'd have like a whole get up and he'd be like doing his routine before the games. I didn't realize that he became an owner. When I was there, the owners were Rob Clark. I think there was the owner. But I'm assuming that
Yeah.
was after. But that's
Yeah,
funny that
he
he
owned
owned.
a indoor team and then he was a part owner in one of the outdoor team at some point. So, but
That's
the
crazy.
U.S. Yeah. Well, we're not here to talk about Soccer Sam though, man. But that's just you have this great story. I mean, you want to like become a maybe a motivational speaker and talk about how you can overcome all the adversities.
I actually got pitched that from a business person one time that it was a local business gentleman. He had sold his company, and the person that he had sold the company to kind of drove it into the ground, and he had all these employees that had helped him build this business pre-sale, and he had asked me to go and just kind of tell my story. And for whatever reason, and the timing of it didn't work out. I don't remember why I wasn't able to do it. I'm sure we had a game or something, but maybe, who knows?
That's I think you have a good future in it. So I mean, but you'd be too humble. You got to like talk yourself up just a little bit more.
A little bit. I'll let Pat do that. I'll bring him with me and he can talk me up.
Yeah, he'd be too mean to the people you're talking to though.
He's kind of a dick. No, I'm kidding.
You can say that now. I don't know if I can. Although I probably have cussed him out once or twice. But yeah, it's again, this isn't about Patrick, man. This is about you. So like that the last few years was tough, but and I know you're gonna get asked this type of question a lot, but like special moments, I mean, raising cups and stuff like that. But is there like one save maybe or something like that? That I'm trying to get something different than what everybody else asks, obviously. Is there one
Yeah,
save you just like go, oh man, I really remember like stuffing this guy or something?
I don't, not a save. You've asked me this in the past, and I think I've said this to you before in the past. But the thing that will always remember is the first action I had when I played my first game at Sporting against Chicago Fire. They kind of right off the kickoff, they send a long ball, and I come kind of storming out of the box and head the ball. That's something that I'll always remember. It was kind of like my introduction into the world of sporting. It was a clumsy play to say the least, and it was kind of just worked out. But that's something that I'll just always remember.
When I've talked to players after they've retired before, it's always like, the thing they miss the most is just being in the environment. It's not like even the big games or something like that. It's the being around that same group of guys and always having that camaraderie. How has that been for you the last few months?
It's definitely that's the thing you miss. You miss preseason dinners. We were actually just talking about that. Being out in Scottsdale, going out to a restaurant with a bunch of teammates, just kind of having fun, decompressing. Um, I don't think any of it's sunk in completely yet. I just feel like we're so busy. We have three kids, so there's never not something going on where they create my deflection away from all that stuff. I've only been to one sporting game so far, and I wasn't even at the whole game. I was probably only at about half of it. So I don't think any of that stuff is set in. There's so many things I miss. I miss like the camaraderie of like being in a locker room, joking around. I miss the like the ramp up to a game, that like nervous energy, but like the willingness to want to go out there and like have that competitive aspect. I don't have anything competitive necessarily going on right now. I'm coaching a 5-year-old soccer team, but they won like 11-0 their first game, so I was just kind of just sitting there. But I feel like in the next couple months or over the rest of this year, there'll be things that I'm like, oh, I miss that, I miss this. But right now, I just feel like we're so distracted and busy that, or maybe it's for a good thing though.
Well, if you're coaching 5-year-olds and they win 11-0, maybe that coaching path is there for you.
No
Not that
coaching.
I, not that I know of any openings. I guess if that's not really sunk in, but you still get to hang out with at least a couple of your old teammates. It seems like a lot lately.
Yep, been Johnny's still around. Fonte just moved back. I mean, Daniel's here. I mean, we still see everyone quite a bit. I mean, there's also so many ex-sporting guys that have kind of moved here, either are working with the club or live in the city that it's actually kind of crazy. But I think that's a testament to the city and the fact that, this is just a good place to live because you look at all the players that, yes, they're, your Beaslers, Snokes, the guys that were originally from here, stayed here, but then, there's also Peterson, Fellharbour, Opara, guys that are not from here and have kind of made the decision to raise their children here. It just kind of shows the quality of life that exists within Kansas City and belonging to the clubs and all those things.
Makes that decision to come back here as a pool keeper at one point to really good, huh?
Yeah, it was a good decision to get on that plane and hang out here for a month.
Yeah, I think it paid off with a pretty darn good career. A couple trophies, man, just a lot of good success. Um, like I said, I don't really, it's not really regrets and stuff, but is there one thing you do just really wish you could have accomplished that wasn't, and I know you've already said you don't really do that, but
No,
if it
I
had
mean,
been,
yeah, the Open Cup this year was a big blow. Um, for a lot of different reasons. There was a not 100% at that time, but there was a really strong possibility that I wasn't going to play any longer, and I had already kind of knew that because we just I knew that the conversation with moving the family wasn't going to be super positive. So not winning that game, and we didn't deserve to win it, but to have the year that we did and to kind of have the silver lining of that Open Cup would have been great, and to kind of go out with a trophy would have been even better. That's something that's will always stick with me. There's a couple playoff games in years past where things kind of set up really well for us to advance. There was even one year where if we had continued advancing through the playoffs, we would have had the home an MLS game. I mean, the MLS final at home. So there's regrets like that. But as you said, I'm not someone that fully dwells in the past. There are so many variables that I can control, and soccer games are not one of them. So I'm not gonna lose sleep over a lot of those things. But I do wish that I was able to kind of finish this year with a trophy and give this whole year kind of the silver lining that it needed that it just didn't get.
when we were talking earlier, you said that you'd only been back to one sporting game and you didn't even stay for the whole part. That is one of the advantages you have of not playing now is you get to leave at halftime.
Well, I actually got there at halftime. I did it the
Oh,
other way.
man, you took out your own advantage there. Um, I guess I just would also want to give you an opportunity because it's tough to be a professional athlete, but it's also really tough on families because you got to be gone a lot. You're going, you got to get your sleep and all that stuff. Just tell me about how wonderful your family's been for you.
I have the most amazing wife who's sitting right here. I have three beautiful children, and I always say it to her, she always thinks I'm kidding, that I would not have the career that I had without having the support of her because there are so many things that she just would have to take care of when I was either trying to rest for a game or traveling or trying to prepare for a game. And what maybe a lot of people don't understand is the soccer part of being a professional athlete is so short, but the lifestyle that you have to make sure that you're able to play every week or have any form of long-term success, there are so many sacrifices you have to make, and I wouldn't have been able to make any of those sacrifices without the support of Kristen and the kids.
Well, from the fan part of me, because I always try to be objective, but the fan part of me, I want to thank your wife for being there and helping you be the player you are. I seriously, sincerely mean that. I mean, I'm a married guy who appreciates what his wife has done for him. Also, you've had some really great teams and some really great teammates, man. I'm going to throw a little wild card out there. If you had to form a five-a-side team with all of your teammates
Only
as
the
your
sporting guys.
yeah
Ooh, I mean, I feel like it'll be probably more of the older guys.
yeah
Um, I would think I would go. Am I going to go more defensive? Am I going to go more attacking? I would put Benny, Ike, Johnny, Matt, throw like Christian in there.
Yeah.
Namath. Got a good balance.
Yeah, I mean, at least got three guys will play defense in that group.
Yeah. Definitely not Benny.
No.
Definitely not Christian.
Yeah, that's it was always amazed me when I see Benny like yell at people to get back on defense on SK with the two
When he
team, and
was
I'm like,
coaching.
yeah. All right. Hey, I really didn't come in with as many planned questions as I probably should have, but again, just from everybody in Kansas City, from everybody from our site, from me, from my family, I just want to say I appreciate just how great of a player you've been, how great of a person you've been. Person even more than player, because that's what's more important. So I just want to say thank you from Kansas City.
Thank you. And thank you guys for always supporting me, always spinning me in a positive light, even when things weren't going well. And kind of just from right out the gate, I've never not felt supported here, and that's down to you guys and all the fans. So thank you as well.